everybody, and welcome to Burnout Culture. The industry sucks and so do we. My name is Kazuma.
I'm GC.
And I'm Cullen.
And you know what? We've actually hit the point of the podcast to where I'm pretty sure we're in the clear of not disbanding as a group. And we also have a community Discord now that people are seeming to really enjoy. So I feel like this could be a long-term thing, guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cut to next week when we're like, we're breaking up. We all hate each other.
Well, I mean, we did just make a community Discord, so I feel like tensions are never going to be higher than they are right now. So as long as people in the community Discord, and GC, I expect you at this point to cut in by reading the exact Discord invite link letter by letter. Thank you. As long as you people at this Discord link behave and are nice, we'll stay together. It's on you guys, really.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to Exio, our mod, who is like the best mod I've like ever encountered. Also moderates my community Discord. Let's give a shout out to Exio.
I'd like to also give a shout out to Exia, the Gundam.
Exia?
I really like that Gundam. It's very cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like Gundam's going to be a big theme of this podcast episode.
Oh, why do you think that?
Well, no reason.
You guys have actually played more than one game. I played I played 2 games. One game I forgot that I played, and then a lot of World of Warcraft. Yeah.
I literally just got, right before this podcast, I was playing a fuck ton of Gundam Breaker. So right now, even though I know I am going to be too busy to play more Gundam Breaker tonight, I will be thinking about Gundam Breaker all night.
It's on your mind. I saw that you get the Tall Geese pretty early, so I'm probably going to download it and play.
We definitely have enough copies between our Steam family share. I think we have 3.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Gundam, I actually bought a model kit.
Which
the Tall Geese Mark II.
Yay!
Real grade.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Have you built Gunpla before?
No, King's gonna build it. He builds Gunpla. Sorry, Jake. Oh my God. Sorry.
King?
Sorry. His VTuber name is King. And we streamed together today, and I was like, "Hey, King." So I'm like VTuber brained right now, but Jake has built Gunpla before. He likes building Gunpla. He likes splitting figures and everything.
You gotta help,
be his
though.
task.
No. You gotta contribute. Building model
kits is great. He
kits
doesn't want me to.
Also,
all he wants me to do is lay there and look cute while he builds the Gunpla.
That's so cruel. You got someone to build a real grade. This is gonna mean nothing to people who aren't into Gunpla, but you basically got a really intricate model and you told someone else to do it. That's kind of mean. Good job, Jake. You're gonna enjoy building it.
He wanted it.
I know, but it's just
he wanted that, or
punishment.
I'm so sorry. He wanted that, or the what is Ali Al-Shazed's Gundam in Gundam 00?
Oh fuck!
His
I could not.
It's the Excelsior something or whatever.
It was probably a high grade. I don't know if they've ever made that a real grade. Ali 00 Gundam. I'm not Googling anything. I'm totally just thinking.
Yeah, you're thinking of it.
I'm going in my brain right now.
Excelsis.
Because that's the Excelsis. He really wanted that, but they haven't reprinted that Gunpla, so we got the Tall Geese instead.
Oh.
Because they didn't have it in stock. I should have taken you to Little Shibuya while you were here, Cullen, and you could have gotten Gunpla kits.
I would have liked that a lot, but there would be no way I'd be able to bring that with me on the plane. So.
Oh, that's true.
Them's the breaks.
Well, looks like we all have to meet up in LA, and I'll have to shield Cullen from all the nastiness and disgusting things here, like
Not
getting
going
COVID.
Not going back.
It's gonna be
disgusting.
It's gonna be
disgusting.
me and GC.
California is so gross.
It's okay. I've got a plan. It's really easy. We'll tell Cullen that we're going to Minnesota, and Cullen will be like, that's harmless and inoffensive.
No, I wouldn't.
And then Cullen will go, GC, why do I see the Golden Gate Bridge outside the window of the plane? And I will go, surprise.
I'm not going to do that. One, because I never get lucky enough to have the window seat of a plane. But 2, also, I would never go to Minnesota because the fuck you're supposed to do in Minnesota?
I don't know. We'll find something.
Oh, exactly. That's the thing. You're not going to be able to convince, especially after this podcast. I have a short-term memory. It was not that bad. I'm going to definitely remember, okay, Minnesota is suspicious.
It'll be
I'm a coast boy. I never want to go to the middle of the country. It fucking sucks there. Anything west of the East Coast is now bad.
That's a
Hope that
lot.
helps.
So Magfest, is that on the
East
East Coast?
That's on the coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
in fucking Maryland, DC, like that little area right there. I could drive to Magfest. It's awesome. It's a long drive and it sucks, but it's not a fucking plane where sick people will go and kids will go, we love Minecraft also, and they spit and drool and Haktua all over each other, and it's gross.
Oh my god.
Disgusting. Filthy.
This
filthy.
is
Hate airports. Hate California. I'm better now. Spent the last 2 podcast episodes being sick as a dog. And now I'm fine and
like
normal.
a dog? A dog, you say?
Shut up. Grow up.
A dog?
Grow
A
up.
dog?
Oh my god.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, now that Cullen has entered his I Hate California arc.
Having said this, if any PR people like to listen to the show, I will absolutely take trips to California to play games. Just don't make me stay for a week.
Specifically in the LA area, please, so we can hang out.
Or San Diego. I'll take San Diego again. San Diego, you're good. You're in the clear. San Diego's beautiful.
Man. So Gundam Breaker.
Or
You want to talk?
Yeah, man. Hookman Cardor.
Gundam Breaker.
I mean, if we're doing Gundam Breaker, I was gonna say if we were doing Hookman Cardor creepypasta shit, I'd get the worst game I've ever played out of the way.
Sure, do whatever you want.
Okay, so I had to review the casting of Frank Stone, which is a supermassive game that's set in the Dead by Daylight universe, and it's really, really, really fucking bad.
Weren't reviews positive for that game overall?
No.
Oh,
I mean, so they were like fine, right? But if you played the game like more than once, you'd understand and see that everything falls apart and choices are just like inconsequential. They're like, we have 16 different endings, but those 16 different endings are like a different character stands beside you at the end of the game kind of thing, right? And it's just so like, it's like a bunch of nothing. It's like it's like a C tier slasher, really bad acting and voice direction. So how many of you have played a Supergiant game?
They're the Until Dawn people, yes?
Yes.
Then I have not.
I have not, but I've watched the full Let's Play of Until Dawn, and I thought Until Dawn was good. And then I saw I sat next to friends while they played other of their games, and I was like, this is bad.
Little Hope has to be one of the worst games I've ever played. It was really bad. It's a game that I gave like a really low score to, and I think there's only one other game I've given a lower score to.
What score did
and that was like I think I gave it like a 3 or 4.
I think those are also the lowest scores I've ever given anything.
Yeah. So a lot of supermassive games outside of Until Dawn, the body mocap is really like, it's not as high quality as the facial mocap. So the faces are extremely hyper realistic, really detailed in terms of movement, and then their bodies are like Dragon Age Inquisition levels of I'm moving around, if you know what I mean, GC.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the shuffling, and sometimes there are some like good like cinematic sequences where you do QTEs and stuff, but the choices in this game are so meaningless that there was a character that literally got bisected by the killer, Frank Stone, and the characters acted as though he had been knocked out, like, oh my god, he's not breathing. No shit, he's cut in half, right?
Oh.
So, yeah, so it's like that. It's like your choices matter, and it's not really, and it's kind of impossible to fail. The game really wants to funnel you down one specific ending. It's really poorly written, not interesting. The most interesting stuff was basically stuff that pertained to the Dead by Daylight universe, and it basically having this entity that pulls people from different like game universes into it, because Albert Wesker's in Dead by Daylight, and so is Pyramid Head, you know, Freddy from the Freddy movies, Minecraft Steve, you know.
What do you mean, Freddy from like Five Nights? He's
actually coming, yes, and but Freddy
Ew.
from Friday the 13th is in it as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that he's coming.
You know what, Cullen?
Yeah.
It's your mind. It's your mind. You're the
responsible for your own dirty thoughts.
I don't have dirty thoughts. I don't want to hear about Freddy coming for Five Nights.
Anyways,
you're a bastard.
Yeah. I know.
Yes. So it was just a whole bunch of nothing, and I remember I was playing it and Jake was behind me and I was falling asleep in my chair and he was like, "Do you want to play World of Warcraft instead?" And I was like, "Please, I want to do anything other than play this game. Please. Please save me. I would rather play Shadowlands right now, which is fine, over this game." And so we did that. And then I played more of it for review and it was not good. I would say this game isn't even worth watching a let's play of. That is how boring it is.
Wow.
That's unfortunate because they've really been struggling. Like, we're still talking about the Frank Stone game, right? I didn't like space
Yes.
out and go. Okay, ever since Until Dawn, they've been struggling to they've been really struggling to have another hit on their hands.
That's why they're remaking Until Dawn. I think it's one of the only games that people actually like.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Until Dawn isn't even that good in retrospect.
yeah, like it does not age well, which I assume is probably why they're remastering or remaking it or whatever, because like they know it sucks. I wish those games were better because I really want there to be sort of that kind of game to be popular again, because those games are kind of fun, but like you said, when the endings don't really make a huge difference and it's not really your choices mattering, like a good horror movie, right? You can rewatch a good horror movie over and over again, even though you know what's going to happen and you're like, "Ah, dude, this is still great." But like a good horror game, you can do that. You can probably play Silent Hill 2 and get all the different endings and you're like, "Oh, I fucking love this. This is great."
It is true. I do say this.
A bad horror game or a bad horror movie is the kind where when you go back to it, you're like, oh, this is obvious, or oh, this is not as clever as I thought it was. Oh, I can see the way this is made, and I can kind of like you kind of lose the illusion, and it just isn't fun anymore, and that's sad.
Just boring and uninteresting. And I think Until Dawn succeeded because it really leaned into its inspirations of like 90s teen slashers, like I Know What You Did Last Summer and shit.
Yeah,
Like my favorite character is like the stereotypical just like mega bitch, you know, the understand the palm of my hand. She's extremely abrasive. I love her. And all of those characters sort of fit into those boxes really neatly. The cultural appropriation stuff really fucking sucks.
yeah.
But other than that, it's at least entertaining in that way. But all of their other games have been so bad. Man of Medan was terrible, and I forgot I reviewed that until I was like, oh my god, I played Man of Medan. Little Hope was terrible.
There was the one about the soldiers,
That had like ancient Byzantine vampires in a pyramid.
I think.
Ashley Tisdale, so Sharpay from High School Musical, I think that's the character she played, was in it as a special forces like soldier in the Middle East or something. I don't know.
It's kind of weird too, because like there's an actor in one of those games. I don't know his name, but he's in the Dungeons and Dragons movie. He's the mage in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and he's in one of those games. Oh, I think he's also in I Saw the TV Glowers or whatever.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's really weird because I think they get talented actors. They just don't write a good vehicle for those actors to take advantage of.
You know, an actor can only work with the script to an extent.
Yeah.
And supermassive games are truly the epitome of that.
So you're really selling it. So I should definitely play the Frank guy stoned up out of his mind.
I have it on Steam if you actually want to play it.
Fuck, no, I didn't want to actually do that.
Yeah, no, you can actually play it, Cullen. It's pretty short. It's like 6 hours.
My bluff was called. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
Well, if you ever want to torture yourself for like a live stream instead of playing Drakengard.
Don't speak its name to me ever again.
All right, I'm sorry. Anyways, Gundam, talk about a game you guys really like, and then I can talk about World of Warcraft with GC.
So Cullen and I realized after Gundam Breaker came out and we were playing it, we've been playing it together, just as some background information. And we learned, how many hours were we into the game by the time we learned
7?
this? Like 7 hours in. we realized that the game is actually, so we talked about the weapons, right? And we talked about, oh, they got like different weapon types and stuff like that. We talked about that during the demo play that we did a couple episodes back. We found out that you can equip weapons in either hand. And when you do that, it drastically changes the moveset of the weapons.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's hard to really describe. I'd almost say it's like, because in a lot of games where you like dual wield, it might give you like a unique style for like dual wielding. Whereas this one's really just like, okay, so you have all of your weapon, like all of your moves from both of your weapons, and some new ones have at it your combos or whatever you want them to be.
It basically turns, when you dual wield in Gundam Breaker 4, it's basically Koei Tecmo Muso combos. Where X or Y, mashing X or Y will do the combo string of the weapon that's equipped to it. But when you end the combo with the other button, depending on how many times you pushed the first button, you will do a brand new move with the other weapon. So you unlock, by dual wielding in Gundam Breaker 4, you unlock... I want to say I got different results for like 4 or 5 button presses. So you unlock like 10 new moves just by dual wielding weapons.
Comparing it to Muso is like pretty smart because it is that same kind of like
hyper
fighter.
Yeah,
just like turn your brain off and hit your buttons. Your buttons feel really good. Enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I mentioned it on last podcast episode or what, but like, wait, no, the game came out last week, didn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
28.
Yeah. When we were playing on launch day, like a friend was messaging me and was like, "Hey man, so like explain the combat system to me. Like how deep is it? Like, cause I'm really playing like Wukong or something right now, or some like Musa or some like Dark Souls games. Like, and I really want to know like, what do you have to work with in this?" And I'm just like, if you have to ask me to sell you on Gundam Breaker, this game is not for you. Like, this is the kind of game where you do like brainless Muso combat that does feel really good, by the way. And everything is very well made. And then you go to spend like the same amount of time that you spent in the mission in the like setup room, like tweaking your Gundam.
Okay.
Like I really wanted to track how long I've like been spending in my room. I think they should keep that going like in the background, because I think my total playtime right now is 14 hours, and I swear half of that has just been like tweaking my Gundam. There are so many parts to work with here, and you can mix and match all of them. There's so many different varieties of like the same Gundam, depending on like the like model kit, like association, like high grade, master grade Verka, like stuff like that. And it is quite fun to play co-op. My friend I just got done playing with, we found this really weird new issue that we're gonna have to test, GC, where I think they introduced some new kind of bug where unless you're playing the game with your Steam set to like Tokyo, you just cannot play any matches right now.
Oh, it's probably under maintenance over here.
No, maintenance ended yesterday.
Oh, so it's bugged.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
just bugged. But it feels good. Like all the there's a bunch of different weapon types. All of them feel great as well. I discovered that there's a whole like system of like depth in the great sword where the longer you hold your button and charge, you get different moves to come out of it. And I think I counted like 4 or 5 like different like charge moves with just this one weapon.
It is an excellent, it is very much what you were saying earlier, where it is a game that is very fan servicey, but it's not just that. There's actual there's good gameplay feel, there's good feedback, there's good controls to like, it feels good to hit buttons, yes, but also things feel tight. It's not loose, it doesn't feel sloppy, it doesn't feel floaty. Like all of my buttons do a ton of different things, but I feel like I'm in complete control at all times. And I cannot stress how like easy they could have messed that up. I cannot stress how easy they could have messed up the way jumping works in that game, the way boosting works in that game. That's all from one button. Jump, boost, quick fall, boosting horizontally. Like that's all one button. That's all mapped to one button. And somehow like you're not constantly tripping up on on what's happening. Like you're not constantly like doing one thing when you wanted to be doing another thing. Like it's very responsive. It's very it's well made. It's a well made fan servicey game, and it's not trying to be anything else but a celebration of Gundam and Gunpla without sort of like feeling
like a cash grab,
like a bad licensed game. Yeah.
And I think like one of the things I've kind of noticed with this game is it takes so much work to make a game where your players like have that kind of like shut my brain off and just vibe to what this is. Cause like there's never really a moment where I'm playing this where I like that like it's kind of broken. Like the game does exactly what I want it to do. There's never a point where it's like, oh, it's dumb that this move doesn't do this, or like this dash feels wrong, or like I never have any moments where I'm not just having fun. And again, big credit to the developers for this. Like it is obvious that a lot of work went into game feel and making all these systems like really work together.
Yeah.
In addition to that, like with how many different parts there are in this game, all of which that have like different abilities that can sometimes like change how your Gundam feels to control in such minute ways. It's incredible that this thing works at all, especially after like no one really liked the last Gundam Breaker. So they kind of just did it. They did exactly like what they needed to do with this game, and nothing more, nothing less. The game functions and is really good. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to build my Gundam, and I wanted to do missions where I fought the other Gundam. That's it. That's all I wanted. And I want like I really hope that they continue to put out more and more content for this game. I'll fucking pay for it. Like if they want to do more season passes with even more suits and more missions, yeah, absolutely, I'm down. I don't think GC and I have gotten far enough into it, but I really would like a raid mode or something. It's like, do you know if that's in the game, GC?
A raid mode, like
yeah,
raid
where
bosses?
we can play with like a big group, because like rooms can have like 24 people.
Oh, okay.
I gotta do something with that because I want to fight like huge bosses with a bunch of people, because I think the co-op limit is like 3, which is a bit small.
Yeah, like that is one knock against it. I feel I know it's probably designed around 3 players, but it would have been nice to have like the traditional 4-player party doing stuff at least, and then yeah, having bigger bosses would have been it would be really cool if maybe in the next Gundam Breaker game. I don't think they'd be able to do it in 4. I don't know if you could implement that without like having to do a full like big ass update. But it would have been cool if like maybe perfect grade models would be the raid bosses.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if you can even get perfect grade parts from this so far, but like they've already shown.
For those of you, for the audience unfamiliar with Gunpla and grades, can you guys break down what grades are?
I think I've done that in a previous episode, but I will do it anyway. Grades are how Bandai, like, I guess, categorizes the different kinds of model kits you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Think of them as difficulties for your model
pretty
kit.
much. And they've made it even more clear with the latest entry grade that they've introduced. So entry grade is like the brand new one, which is super fucking simple. It's just a way to get like absolute beginners or like kids kind of into the hobby. But the main ones are high grade, master grade, and perfect grade. In between high and master, you have real grade, which has the complexity of a master grade, but the size of a high grade. And typically the scale of these goes from like 1 to 144. I think it's like 1 to 100, and then 1 to 60 scale for like the designs. So the bigger grade you get, most of the time, the bigger the model kit as well.
Okay.
There's some high grades that are absolutely massive, like the size of a master grade, but will typically still have like relatively simple like complexity. So for the most part, I think all of the models that we've messed with in Gundam Breaker 4 are just the high grade stuff. But there will be like a boss that shows up on occasion that really just seems like, oh, that's a master grade. And I really hope that they bring out some perfect grades. So just we get to fight like massive Gundams. I did a boss earlier with my friend, and it was absolutely ginormous, and it was flying around the sky, and we had to like battle in the sky just to keep up with it and like keep your boost gauge pretty like decently charged while you do it.
Cool.
It's fucking sick. Game's sick as fuck.
I will tell you, I'll just like, this is like when it happens. I'm pretty sure we won't get master grade until we beat the main story.
Interesting.
So there's more content after the main story. Excuse me, after the main story.
Good. Speaking of main story, I think it's kind of vapid and dumb. But more power to anyone who likes it. It's the most like Saturday morning cartoon, like we're playing an MMO. Whoa, there's some spooky glitches going on, and there's an obvious AI girl who's probably the secret AI that runs the whole thing or some dumb bullshit. It's fine. Although apparently like some of the stuff they get into at the end is a bit like, huh? But like it's Gundam Breaker 4. Skip all the cutscenes. Like you're not getting high art out of the Gundam Breaker 4 story.
I am going to watch all the cutscenes.
And you can report back. I only watch the cutscenes when I play story missions with GC, which I guess is more often than not. And I politely sit through them and try not to complain, but
You're a good friend, Cullen.
oh no, I'm a bad friend. GC can attest to this. I complain. I am constantly complaining. I'm not like being like, GC, I can't believe you're making me do this. I'm just like, this is stupid. This is stupid and I hate it. This is dumb. Grow up. Get a job, all you stupid kids. Stop playing this fucking video game like it's your life. God, shut up.
There's like grown ass people that play Gundam Breaker in that universe.
Yeah, I'm like, fucking move out of your parents'
It's
house.
you.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting here like being like, how did you get the ultimate power? No one has the limit breaker move. Oh my God. Like I'd be like, oh shit, dude, look at that. And I take a fucking bong hit again and I go, that's sick as fuck, bro. Like everyone acts like it's so serious. It's like it's a video game. Like in universe, it is a video game. These characters are playing.
Yeah, but GB4 is like their life.
This is
It's one of those universes where like it's like
Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh or Gundam Build Fighters where like everyone's obsessed with the game.
Yeah, but it's
and the
not
game
like
is like their way of life.
But in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like actual stakes because it's, you know, built upon like mystical, like evil, dark magic shit. And you get sent to the hell or whatever, Shadow Realm.
Not after a while.
Oh, well, I mean, at least that's that's the Yu-Gi-Oh that most people got in on, was when fucking ancient pharaohs and stuff like that. This is just like, it's a video game.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds is like post-apocalyptic and everyone's playing Yu-Gi-Oh because it's the only thing left to do.
But there's some stakes in that as well because they're doing it like on their motorcycles.
Yeah.
Like this is literally people like when I see some like edgy asshole in this game go like, ha, you foolish child, I will win and I will get all the points and then you beat them. They go, no, how could this happen? I'm like, you are a grown ass man sitting behind a computer screen, a fucking like sweaty ass. You like your mom told you to go take out the garbage. You're not doing it because you're playing Gundam. Like you need to grow up and you need to focus on getting a job.
Yeah, but like, what if Gundam Breaker 4 was his job?
It is I want, they should do a thing where it's like, oh, that's the ultimate streamer. He streams Gundam Breaker. He's an influencer for Gundam Breaker. I think there's like an idol character, but I don't know if that's supposed to be like an AI thing that they made.
It is.
Okay, so it's like, it's not bad. I will like, I'm making a big deal about it because my brain is like hardwired to not like pay attention to the story in these like Monster Hunter likes, because I got my start on these games when there was no story and you hunted the monster. And for a while, everyone was in agreement that it's like, you know, we don't need a story for this. You hunt the monster. And then fucking dog shit Monster Hunter World was like, no, we're going to make people sit there and watch our shitty cutscenes.
Do you know why they did that?
AAA bullshit?
No, to appeal to the Western market.
Yeah, that's what I said. AAA bullshit?
Yeah, but AAA Japanese video games aren't always like that.
No, I know. Like, World is the worldwide, like, big, critical, darling, appealing one. And it's like, I don't mind if you put a story in these games. But, and the Monster Hunter team learned this as well because Rise lets you skip cutscenes. Like, let me skip the bullshit. Like,
you can also skip them in Wilds.
Yeah, which if they went back on that, I would think less of them. They learned their lesson because the world's cutscenes are all bad.
Isn't there a mod on PC that skips the cutscenes?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I actually installed it. I was like, I don't want to do this again. I did this once on PlayStation, never again.
Yeah, it's so much of that game is not actually getting to play the game you bought because it's like you have to see idiots talk and then they go, all right, Hunter, we need you to go collect 5 eggs from this. And then every time you like walk around, it's like you get a new cutscene and then a monster shows up and it's like, cool, I wasted like 20 minutes when you could have just said, go fight the monster. I'm heated. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I got vitriol. I got vitriol in me right now.
I know you're not even like that aggressive about it in like reality. Yeah. I think you just had all that pent up, you know.
Yeah.
You just hated those adults playing children's video games.
It's like if you didn't want to watch the cutscenes, you could have just told me, Cullen. It's okay.
I mean, I have told you this, but also
yeah, I wasn't listening.
I now actually want to watch the cutscenes because of some of the weird shit I've heard that's at the end of this game, and I'm very eager to see how bad it is. I'm not even gonna say it on this. I look forward to your response, GC.
I can't wait to go, what? And just sort of lose my mind slowly. It'll be great.
I'm excited to play more, truthfully.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Unfortunately, you can't do any of that tonight. We won't be playing Gundam Breaker 4 tonight because we're all working tonight.
Yeah.
I was gonna play a little bit.
Okay, we can play a little bit.
GC has to turn in his guide though before you guys do that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
For those who don't know, GC is now a colleague of mine over at Silicon Era. Go read his guides and features.
Yay!
GC has now joined us in the ranks of fake journalists. This is like truly amazing.
Yeah, I know. All 3 of us now.
All 3 of us. Welcome. We are finally now the fake journalist cast.
Yes.
Those are just burnouts. We're the same. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. GC was burnt out before he even got in.
Yeah, I came pre-equipped. Oh.
Hey, GC.
What else have I been doing? What's up?
I know what you're gonna be doing next week.
World of Warcraft. Oh.
No.
Well, but.
Yeah, actually, yes, he is.
Oh, fuck. All right, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what else you're gonna be doing?
What?
Fucking Dragon Quest.
Oh my god! Dragon Quest 3 comes out on the 11th.
Monsters.
Again. Dragon Quest Monsters 3 comes out on the 11th. The Dark Prince, it's coming on a PC like I said it would because, you know, I'm smart and I see the writings on the walls.
But what about Persona on the Switch?
Oh, I forgot.
Anyways.
I forgot Episode I guess also drops on that same day, doesn't
That's
it?
not on the Switch.
Persona's not on the Switch?
Persona 3 is not on Switch.
No, I was making a joke.
About who? GC's never made takes about Persona on Switch.
No. It's like how GC's like, I made a prediction because I can see the writing on the wall. And there was that one guy that was Persona's
Midori.
Coming out on the Switch. Yeah. The Japanese schoolgirl Midori, who was a white man from Pennsylvania or something.
I know it's not, but I think it'd be funnier to say it's like, you are a white man from Boston. So sorry, Midori, you're in Boston now.
Yeah.
I remember it was like this big thing when they're like, yeah, they have a trademark for P5S that it's like the S means switch. Guys, I have the scoop, it does. And then it wasn't, but also like, I'm going to be real. If you at any point thought Persona 5 was never coming to Switch, you're kind of dumb. Of course it was going to come to Switch. It's a PS3 game. Let's fucking be real.
Yeah.
Wait, did Persona 5 come out on the PS3?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a PS3 game. So it was announced as a PS3 game.
Oh my god.
And then they realized very smartly, it's like, okay, if we keep putting all this effort into only making it a PS3 game, no one's ever going to buy it. So also make it for PS4. And because they did that, sold a quadrillion copies. But it also came out on PS3 the same day.
What? I had no idea it came out on PS3. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a cool novelty. I had it at one point. I'm mad I don't have it anymore. Aren't video games
you guys talk about
awesome?
Yeah, you guys talk about Dragon Quest. I need to collect myself.
Sure.
So I'm very excited because it's coming to PC because it's bringing all the DLC that you had to pay extra for on Switch. And
which was like crucial shit that you needed as a Monsters fan.
If you wanted to like really dig in, yes, it had it had a dungeon where you could re-recruit monsters you've recruited in the past immediately, so that you didn't have to like go research a monster to get it, or not research, search a monster to get it. It had a dungeon for, I think it had a dungeon for leveling. It was either for leveling or for getting items. I don't remember.
And maybe a bit of both.
It had like a daily chest that you could open to get stuff. Basically, the DLC is a lot of people agree that it's sort of like, I don't believe it's necessary to play that game from start to finish or even in the post game. But if you're a completionist,
you do kind of need it for post game. Like the post game is such a massive jump in difficulty that, and I think everything earlier than that just does not get you what you need to like properly get your monsters ready for it, or at least if it is, it'll be fucking grueling to do. So it's smart that they did this, but it also like this release kind of just feels like a bit of like, okay, whatever, fine. Here we ported it, I guess. Like, come on, just no multiplayer, whatever, no additions, just fine. Just
that's the other thing. There's no online direct battling, and that's kind of sad, but I kind of understand why. A lot of people were also very unhappy with the way online worked in the Dark Prince on Switch, because they were like, oh, the battling's unbalanced and you can't like actually like get like a fair fight in.
GC saying this through tears as he remembered how I fucking murdered him like every time we played.
It was back and forth if I remember correctly, but okay.
I don't remember that, no.
But they still have the indirect battling. So they still have the thing where you send your team out and they do like 30 simulated battles with somebody else's team to see who wins and stuff. So they still have that. That's fine. I'm more excited to play Dragon Quest Monsters 3 without any of the performance issues that were on the Switch, because isn't
it really fun how as soon as we both finished our playthroughs, they put out a patch that fixed the fucking game?
Yes, but
hilarious.
It doesn't change the fact that you can really tell that game is playing at a lower resolution. Like if you're used to, especially if you're used to playing things at like 1080p, like the Dark Prince on Switch is very jagged. It is very crunchy to look at.
As a Switch connoisseur, it sure is a Switch game.
Yeah, it is, eh? And then before the patches, it had a lot of like performance issues. Even after the patches, I gotta say, I kept running into some performance issues.
Yeah, but it's like, I just for context, before the December patch, or I guess late December. That game came out early December, right?
It came out early December.
Yeah. By like Christmas time, pretty much, the performance got patched. Before, you're talking like 10 to 15 FPS everywhere.
Yeah.
After, it was like 25 to 30. It is like this game came out too early.
Yeah.
It was not ready.
It also felt not ready by a large margin. And it continued to get patches after that. It got tweaks and stuff. Like there's a whole egg mechanic that you're supposed to make use of, but you never really ran into eggs in 1.0 or 1.1. And I'm really excited to play that game with all of its performance patches, with all of its gameplay changes. I'm really hoping I'm gonna actually do the post game for it this time. I didn't do the post game for the Switch version because I got fed up with the way that game
playing it.
Yeah, I got fed up with like the slowdowns and feeling like the game would be so much faster. It's the same experience I had with Dragon Quest Treasures, where I played it on Switch and I was like, I'm having fun, but my God, can I feel the Switch's age? My God, can I feel the Switch chugging? My God, do I know that if this was on a different console, I would be having
so much better.
I would be having such a better time. And then Treasures came out on PC, and I'm having a great time playing Treasures on PC now because it's fixed all of my gripes with it.
You gotta like sit with me and make me play through Treasures. I just could not. I never get farther than like the beginning of that game because I just get bored.
I'm almost at the end. I almost beat it.
How is it?
It is surprisingly really satisfying. There's boss battles that are classic action adventure game boss battles. Like think like Ratchet and Clank and Banjo-Kazooie kind of boss battles. We're talking about Dragon Quest Treasures now, everybody. Sorry, we're jumping around Dragon Quest games a lot. That's my bad.
Oh, real
the
quick.
Dragon Cast.
The Dragon Quest cast.
No,
Yeah.
that's in November when GC and I go, okay, Kazuma, you're not in this episode. GC and I are going to talk about Dragon Quest 3 for 2 hours.
That'll be when I have to take a business trip to a place that I can't talk about yet.
Ah,
That'd be
yes,
great.
the moon.
Yeah, yeah, the moon.
I was just going to say, if we are moving on from Dark Prince, only thing is, man, I wish this didn't still just look like an up-res Switch game. But you know what? Fine.
Yeah.
It like this really deserved a more full-fleshed like remaster kind of thing. But it looks good. It's a
That
very
art style is
simplistic-
certainly a choice.
Yeah. You could really tell that it looks like that because it is a Switch game. So it does not really look like that much of a glow up besides the fact that it's just running at better resolutions. But again, it's a good game.
This
But, yeah.
is why, as an aside, this is why I'm glad that Dragon Quest 3 2D HD is releasing on all platforms simultaneously, because that game probably wasn't built for the Switch. Whereas Treasures and The Dark Prince were probably made predominantly for the Switch.
I mean, I'd argue that HD 2D in general, like one of the things about it is that it exists so that it can run on the Switch. Like, have you played Octopath 2?
No.
Octopath 2 runs great on Switch. I honestly expect that it's probably going to run like fine on Switch as well.
I'm talking about like the perspective that people might apply to when they're making a game for the Switch, where they make certain concessions with the idea of like it running on that hardware. Whereas like, yeah, HD 2D stuff probably runs great on the Switch, but it's not predominantly like the main, like that's not the target console for those games.
It's kind of wild that Dark Prince is like, they're not even bothering putting it on other consoles. Like, as big of a Dragon Quest fan as I am, like as much as I love playing these games whenever they come out, and as much as I'm excited that this is coming to other platforms, I can't help but feel it's like, okay, fine, just get it out of the way, and so we can move on and not talk about this. And it's just like, it's such a bummer. I really wanted this game to get some kind of like expansion because it just feels like it needs more. I think that post game's kind of underwhelming, and it could have been the thing that really like brought the whole story together. But also, I'm one of the 5 fucking people in the world that wanted this game to have a good story. So, or the 1 person in the world, who knows?
I wanted it to have a good story.
Yeah, but you didn't care as much as I did. Like, when we were playing this thing, I was like getting fucking depressed at how like underwhelming I was. And GC was like, oh, but that's expected.
Yeah, I mean, it's because when we played that game, you had just finished playing Dragon Quest 4.
Which is one of my favorite Dragon Quest games.
Which is one of your
time.
favorite Dragon Quest games of all time. And you wanted Dragon Quest Monsters 3 to be a continuation of that quality of storytelling. You wanted it to be very fan servicey for that sort of thing. Like, you wanted it to sort of indulge your interest in Dragon Quest 4 at the time. Whereas I hadn't played Dragon Quest 4 in over 8 years. When the Dragon Quest 4 elements of that game show up, I'm not really looking to see how like it expands the world lore of Dragon Quest 4. I was more just like, oh, what a fun little reference to a game I recognize. And I was very happy with the original story that it told. And I was fine with that because I wasn't expecting more. I didn't want more out of it.
Well, see, they were kind of hinting at like that this, because it's like one of the only Dragon Quest monster games besides like I think Joker 3 that actually put a lot of value into its narrative. There are so many cutscenes in that game, and a lot of them just kind of say nothing or are like limply referencing Dragon Quest 4. Like, the worst parts about Monsters 3 are the parts that are just like, okay, now we have to do the Dragon Quest 4 thing, but we do it worse. And it's like, oh, if you guys weren't into it, why did you pick this? It's very weird.
Fair.
But I could complain about that all day. But Regardless, fucking before we move on to treasures, Dragon Quest Monsters 3 on Steam. The best thing that'll happen on September 11th this year.
Jesus Christ.
Square Enix says, happy 9/11 gamers.
Also, it's $40.
Wait, what?
Also, it's $40, which is pretty good.
It's also being sold at cheaper than the price it was on Switch, which I'm
Yes.
very happy about. I did
it's
not
coming to
expect them
mobile.
to do that. And it's also coming to mobile because that's what they do with the Monsters games. They put
Wait,
them on
can we
everything.
go back to 9/11? What the fuck? It's coming out what on 9/11?
Yeah, it's coming out on 9/11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cullen just felt the need to include that.
It is coming out on September 11th. I don't know what the problem is.
Just the way you said it was like really. I was like, hang
It
on a
is
second. What?
The best thing that will happen to me this September 11th. Was there, I don't, did I lie? Like, is there anything at fault of what I said? You go on the Dragon Quest Monsters, all caps, the Dark Prince, not all caps, and you look at the release date, and it says Sep 11, 2024. And then you think, I'm a Dragon Quest fan. Oh boy, I'm so excited for 9/11.
Anyway,
Cullen, I love you so much.
I've been playing a lot of Jesus Christ. I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest Treasures because I'm gonna make a video on it. Dragon Quest Treasures is really good. Shut up, we gotta move on. We can't
You're
spend
good.
longer on
That
this.
sound bites for you, buddy. You can do whatever you want with that.
Dragon Quest Treasures is really good. I thought I was gonna be very underwhelmed by it. I thought it was gonna be very like empty and vapid of a video game because my working theory is that they took Dragon Quest Treasures, the original idea for it, and they split it into two games, Dragon Quest Treasures and The Dark Prince.
Because Treasures was announced as a new monster game with Eric from Dragon Quest 11 and his sister
Yes, and
as
then
kids.
yes, and then Taichi Inuzuka, I think he's the producer at Tosei Interactive. No, just Tosei. It's the name of the company is Tosei. He came out and said, "Hey, the game's going to be a lot different than what you expect. It's not going to be a traditional monsters game. It's going to be action focused. We hope you enjoy it." Blah blah blah. When I first played Treasures on the Switch, I was kind of let down because I wanted to play a monsters game. But returning to it on PC, it is actually like at first it feels really empty and you expect it to wear out its welcome pretty quickly. But the game constantly throws tasks at you, and the areas are kind of like the areas are diverse enough, and what you're doing is diverse enough, and your team that you're controlling changes up often enough that you really don't feel like it really doesn't wear out its welcome as fast as you think it does. And I realized I was starting to kind of, because there's only 74 monsters in the game, which is very small. That is a very small amount of monsters to have in any sort of Dragon Quest game that's centered around controlling monsters. In this game, you don't control them directly. You can send them attack and recall instructions, and that's it. Everything else the monsters do by themselves, but all of the mechanics of a monsters game are still there. The traits are still there. Their abilities are still there. Their resistances are still there. And there's other little mechanics too there's a lot of little mechanics during fights that complement the monsters like stats and the monsters traits and stuff like that. And there's bosses that are really interesting and very classically designed bosses for like action adventure games, like I was mentioning earlier. And there isn't like a linear path in the game, which is another thing that I like. The game
Very
is like,
Xenoblade-y.
yeah, kind of. It basically goes, okay, here's the game. The game is a MacGuffin hunt. And then you roll your eyes and you go, okay, great. I got to do a MacGuffin hunt. Awesome. Can't wait for this to take me forever and for it to be boring. And then it's like, well, yeah, it's a MacGuffin hunt, but you don't know where the MacGuffins are. And we're not going to tell you where they are until you do other things. Well, am I doing them in a linear fashion? No. You literally go out into the world. You can go to any of the zones you want. You can complete the quests in any order you want. And organically, by collecting treasure while you're doing those quests and fighting monsters and recruiting new monsters and building up your little base with treasure and stuff like that, you will run into notes or details hinting towards where these MacGuffins are. And once you start collecting the MacGuffins and doing things, and like at first you're kind of all over the place and it's like, I really don't know what the game wants me to do. And then it kind of clicks and you're like, oh, the game is letting me do whatever the fuck I feel like. And regardless of what I do, I'm making progress. And it's really bizarre because I haven't played a game in a long time, if ever. Doing whatever the hell I want pushes forward my progression. I'm not doing side content and putting a pause on mainline scenario stuff. I'm not like running up my gameplay time by doing something inconsequential to the main story. Like, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't feel like I'm not pushing the main story forward or delaying that. It is truly a game that is built around being a playground for you to do whatever you want in, which is perfect for the audience that it's probably aimed towards.
People with ADHD
and children.
Damn, cold.
And while I was playing, I was starting to get to the end. I was like, man, I really want this to be over already. And I looked at my playtime and I was like, damn, I've only been playing for 16 hours. And I was like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over. And I had a sense of dread because I was like, oh my God, I'm only 16 hours in. This game's probably like a 50-hour RPG. They probably made this way too long. I looked up how long the game is. It's 21. It's just 21 hours. So it's kind of built really well. It's kind of paced really well to the point where it's like when you're ready for the game to be done, the game is actually wrapping itself up. When you're done in the playground and you're like, okay, I've done everything. I get it. It's okay. Yeah. I figured everything out. I've done everything that I want to do. I'm sort of coming to a close here. Let's get out of here. The game is doing exactly that. And the entire time I've been playing, I'm like, when is the game going to reveal that it's a mid? And it hasn't. I don't think it's going to. And I think it's a pretty good game that unfortunately on the surface resembles something that's very light and very casual and therefore uninteresting to a lot of people. But I think beneath that veneer, there is a very nice, not a deep depth, but it's sort of like, it's like a hot tub depth where like you sink in and you're like, this is nice.
From like, as a Dragon Quest fan, I'm gonna buy whatever they put out because I always like seeing what this team does. But like, I totally get why a lot of people either didn't know what the fuck it was or didn't want to bother with it, because it's a really hard game to pitch to someone because it's a hodgepodge of like a billion different like micro genres of game.
Yes.
That seem to all come together in a solid way.
Yeah. And I don't think people were expecting that. I think people were expecting something. I think that's what it is. I think this game suffers from expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It suffers from expectations. We were announced. It was announced to be a Monsters game. It got changed at the last minute, or people were informed at the last minute that it was going to be different. People were expecting one thing. They got something else. People were expecting something with deep systems. They got something else. They wanted, something a little more serious. They got casual. Ultimately, that's a letdown. But if you kind of
take it for what it is,
not take it for, I hate that expression of like taking the game for what it is. But if you
play it on its own terms.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. Like if you don't sit there and pay attention to the way the sausage is made, right? Like if you're not thinking about how the sausage was made and you just eat the sausage, it's a pretty good sausage. But
the problem is that I got two pretty okay sausages and I'm like, damn, you could have made one really big, juicy sausage.
It's true.
Didn't. Because you think about the scale of treasures, like, and I don't think you like sold it enough. Like the maps in that game are actually like pretty big, and there's a lot of verticality there.
Yes.
Like they're really fun to explore. The little bit I played, I actually liked roaming around because it is just these little mini open worlds to explore. And then you think back to like Monsters, Dark Prince, and you're just like, oh, these maps are fine. But the gameplay is really good and the dungeons are really good. And it's like, if these two games, which again, it has not been confirmed, they broke it into two separate games, but like, it's fucking obvious. Like, look at them. If this had just been one Monsters game with a couple of like fun little like spins on what the traditional Monsters combat is, maybe having a bit of that action combat and turn-based combat in one, I think it could have been something really special. But instead we got two kind of solid games that even Square Enix didn't know how to fucking market.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it sucks.
For your video, you should definitely do a cover of Treasure by Bruno Mars.
I would nail that.
Faintly in the background.
No. GC for his Yakuza videos would do full on song covers, and I'm telling him to just do a full on song cover for Treasure just at the end or somewhere in the middle of his Treasure review. Do it.
I don't think I'm gonna do that because I don't know what Bruno Mars has to do with Dragon Quest Treasures.
No, it's just the whole. You haven't heard Treasure?
I have.
Well, that's all you need. It's a good song, GC.
I'm not gonna. What?
GC,
No.
it's a good song.
I'll do a cover of like. Oh no, wait, that's not a. There's no.
Chad, he's gonna like sometime between now and his video, he's gonna be like singing Treasure in like the shower or something, and he's gonna go like, "Fuck, he's right," but I can't admit it. No one can ever know. The idea is brilliant.
I'm not singing anymore unless someone pays me. Anyway.
Your patrons are.
I've also been playing Dragon Age Inquisition. More of that. I actually haven't been playing a lot of Dragon Age Inquisition. I've been moving a lot this past week. But I played a little bit of Dragon Age Inquisition, and just an update because people left comments on the last episode being like, I like the Dragon Age Inquisition updates. I'm starting to get really tired of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm starting to get
you
really
hit that
exhausted.
point, huh? Yeah.
Every area is so big and there's so many things to do. And I've already modded the game to cut down on time, and I'm still like, there's too much.
So did you hit the point with Hawk and the Fade? Is that it?
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh my God. For me, that was when I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
I'm like doing all of the areas, like all the activities in every side area before I do that, because I wanted to unlock Artificer for my Archer build, and I finally did. So now things might get faster because my Archer is going to start exploding things on contact. But my God, you move so slow in that game, and then the horse isn't good either.
I don't even remember using the horse. I don't think I ever used the horse. I think I walked everywhere.
Well, that's because the horse feels really bad to control. That is a terrible horse. Like the horse is faster, but the way it's animated makes it feel slower, because the horse has like this weird effect where when it gallops, it like stops in, like the animation implies that the horse moves farther, and they couldn't let the horse do that. The animation stayed the same, but the horse physically does not move forward. Something holds the horse back from its full stride. It's really weird.
So it's like the horse in Diablo 4 when it first released.
Oh God, I guess so.
Yeah, the horse was... Everyone would rather walk than use the horse because the horse was slower and less convenient than walking.
Jesus.
Somehow. I don't know why it's hard for people to get horses right.
It's the same person. They keep going into different companies and animating the horses.
It's Jake. He hates horses. He actually does hate horses. And he keeps going from company to company, making horses cumbersome and uninteresting and bad to control.
That's evil.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Inquisition.
Give it a break.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I haven't played it for like a week already. I want to finish it before Veilguard comes out so that I can be up to date.
Yeah.
Not that I think it matters, because they've already said that nothing you did in the first 3 games is going to matter for this one. But
oh, that fucking sucks. I hate that.
yeah, they're not continuing. They're not carrying over any of your choices or any of your decisions. They're gonna form. They've decided on a canon. I mean, I would imagine they had to have, unless they're just gonna ignore all the lore up till this point, which I know they
I think
won't.
they will.
Oh God.
I'm gonna I'm going to say Solus is there and stuff. I actually shouldn't talk about this too much. Solus is there, stuff's going to happen, but I think they're going to basically rewrite the canon with this one.
They're going to wipe the slate clean.
Yeah, they're going to be like, actually, all the stuff you learned before was wrong.
Probably for the best.
It is.
No, that sucks.
I mean, those are fucking PS3 360 games.
Yeah, but the issue is that the writing and story and lore is actually good.
Yeah.
And what they're going to replace it with is probably actually going to be bad.
So like establishing a single canon, that's smart. I like that.
Yes.
But
yes.
disregarding everything in the previous like games, that's bad. You don't want to do that because there's actually a lot of really solid world building in Dragon Age, which is why I keep playing it. It's why I keep playing Inquisition, even though like there's just the game is too damn slow. It's because the world building is very strong. Even at its worst, it's still decent.
Yeah, because I was talking to somebody that's like really into Dragon Age and owns like all of the lore books, and they were like, wait a second, the stuff with the elven gods seems incorrect. And I'm like, it sure is, buddy. So
damn.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And that I'm saying that based off of just like looking at stuff, not things that I have seen like or experienced firsthand at like an event or something.
A sniper dot has left your forehead.
Oh, thank God. Well, luckily I'm not playing any other games under embargo right now. I'm just playing World of Warcraft with GC. Hopefully in the future.
Hopefully
Soon
tonight.
Future. Yeah, oh my God, that'd be fun. I'll level with you. This is where I take over the podcast to talk about World of Warcraft, The War Within. Which is probably the... Oh my God, it's so good. It's okay. Yeah.
While after you do this, I get to take over the talking stick and talk about Emio. But please, by all means, I needed a bathroom break, so this is perfect. Go talk about World of Warcraft, my friends.
All right. Well, I will. For those of you that just want the short of it, it's the Stranger of Paradise of MMO expansions. It's
Hold
really
on, Jack's there?
No, but it's really sincere.
I can hold my pee. What's up, Jack Garland? He's here?
Yeah, Jack Garland. No, so you know the level of sincerity that Stranger of Paradise has?
Yeah, of course. It's the best game ever. Best game.
And like how it commits to like its themes and storytelling and overall atmosphere and vibe.
Yeah. The
War Within does that. Yeah, The War Within does that. And it's very sincere. It's really sincere.
That's awesome.
It's really good. Like, it's not trying to subvert expectations for the sake of it. It's corny. It's fun. The characters are well written. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's going to be playing through it. Just know that it's actually absolutely worthwhile. And the side content is better written and more impactful than the entirety of Dawn Trail.
Jesus.
So, yes. There is a quest in the game in one of the areas where you actually fight alongside these two brothers, and one of them ends up dying, and the brother that survived ends up blaming himself. So you have to go through a series of quests, basically learning about the culture of this group that you're helping out. And what they do when someone dies is they have to burn the memories of this person so they can pass on into the afterlife. And you have to find these, like, he basically gives you, like, these things that are representative of those three memories to then burn them and help his brother pass. And one of them was a memory of when his brother was born and how he just wanted to protect his brother so much and wanted to care for him because they were both just, like, little babies, you know, that he put his, like, War Lynx kitten in the like, crib with him so the Lynx could protect him. And the mom got really mad. Lane was like, the Lynx could have smothered the baby. What were you thinking? He was like, I just want to protect him. So he's always wanted to protect his brother. And the one time that he wasn't there to protect him, he died. So it's all about his grief regarding the death of his brother. There's another quest that has to deal with like an earthen that's basically developing Alzheimer's. And the thing is, it's not written like, oh, I'm sad for the sake of being sad. It's you're accompanying these characters like over the course of like a couple of hours in this optional content to learn about them and their society. So you're given these little like glimpses into that. And as a result, these areas feel like fully realized places. Whereas in Dawn Trail, it's like, I guess I'm going to Peru for 5 minutes and all I'm going to do is trade because the entire culture of this indigenous group is trading. Great. There's nothing else. I like World of Warcraft a lot too. I know this is a problem with people for people, not with people, for people, that you're not like the main character in World of Warcraft. You're like the hero and you stand behind, major characters and cutscenes. Like, Thrall is talking and you're just sort of in the background, just like staring off into nothing. But I don't mind that because I would rather have a story with compelling characters that I witness and get to experience than my character injected into the story, basically holding it back by being the most special little baby on the planet. Like, I don't care about that.
I've always liked that like your character in World of Warcraft is just like a really high-ranking officer who like you don't do like nothing you do is your personal like victory. It's always like in respect to like you contributed to a faction-wide movement. I've always preferred that to FF14's like your main character is like the big hero.
Yeah, I just, some people are into it. I'm not, and I'll never be into it because that's not why I play games. I'm playing games for like a fully realized narrative about characters that change and grow and don't stay static for 10 years. And that's
because I'm a special boy.
Oh, that's you, Cullen, the specialist boy.
That's why I play 14. I go, it's just like me for real. I am the most important person on earth.
Wow.
My contribution.
But thank you, Cullen. It was a good one. But that's, I don't know. I feel like with the War Within, because they're also establishing Zelatath, like the villain. I was gonna say the foot woman, but it is what it is. Just GC just sighing.
Yeah, GC goes, I have COVID.
Yeah.
Auga. Yeah.
Kind of sad how you play into it, GC.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. But I like that they're setting her up to be the antagonist for like the next like 2 or 3 years of the game. Because I will say going through Shadowlands, which I thought was actually fine. It was whatever as an expansion. It's not the worst thing I've ever played. And being able to go at it at my own pace, I think actually improved my experience with it. We haven't had a villain in World of Warcraft. I say this as someone who started playing last year, but in like Burning Crusade, it was like Kel'Thalas. And then in Lich King, it was Arthas. And those were characters that had existed within like previous Warcraft games, right? So there was a greater connection to them outside of just being a one-shot World of Warcraft boss.
Yes.
And I'm seeing a lot of people respond really positively to them actually sort of doubling down on this and wanting to make a villain that feels significant and isn't just I guess this person is here and we need to fight them for this expansion, I suppose. And that's really cool. So I'm hoping they do this more after we wrap up the World Soul Saga, whatever the fuck is going to happen next. Who knows? I've also been playing Legion. And you haven't played Legion, have you, GC?
Nope.
So Legion has a really cool base building mechanic that feels very much like it was made in response to idle games. Like not, idle games like I'm a Japanese idol, but like idle game where you queue something up and you just leave it alone for a while. Because the whole base building mechanic is you basically get recruits and you send them out on missions that take like 2 hours, or you research stuff and you build your base that way. And I thought that was like really fun to do between me questing and the World Within. I can understand how people fucking probably hated this when it came out. But, just doing all this content on the side is actually super fun. And just taking my time with the game. And I think because I came in so late to World of Warcraft, I actually really love it. But I also really love Classic too. But if anybody's looking for an MMO to just sort of occupy their time, I actually really suggest checking out World of Warcraft. Because there's like a catch-up cinematic. You immediately jump into the new expansion. Once you hit level 70, you can go play previous expansions using the time walking thing, which is kind of confusing. But once you figure it out, it's fine. But it's, I don't know, like... I'm even starting to grow fond of Garrosh Hellscream, and I'm always like, all my homies hate this guy, but he commits to the bit so hard that I'm like, I respect that. I respect that he commits to the bit, even though he is the worst man on this planet, and now worst man in Super Hell. World of Warcraft. I'm excited for you to start playing GC, so you can see, like, more of the war within and get reacquainted with the game and see your new shaman forms.
I really want to see what they're doing with that stuff. I boosted my character. It's sitting there at the starting location. Once I'm done with doing some work, I'm probably gonna sit down and play some of that. Very excited.
Yeah.
I want to get through that podcast through that expansion.
It's really easy to get through and it's not long. It's like 10 to 12 hours long and I love that. I'm tired of fucking 60-hour expansions. I'm sick of it. I wanted to stab my own eyes out playing Dawn Trail. That's a gross over-exaggeration, but I was so bored playing it. So bored. And it's fucked up that a game that I was very adamant on never playing has now become like my favorite MMO because I just don't care for Final Fantasy XIV anymore.
So you're saying,
Yes.
if you're allowing me to have a little bit of a segue here,
Yeah.
that Final Fantasy XIV doesn't really spark joy, but World of Warcraft makes you a smiling man.
It sure does. Tell us about that MEO game.
MEO the Smiling Man is probably going to be the best game I play all year. It is a perfect 10 out of 10 video game. A deeply raw and human story that utilizes classic point-and-click adventure game like game design in a modern way that doesn't sacrifice anything to appease everyone. I finished the game weeks ago and I still constantly think about the story they told, and I truly believe it is like kind of baffling that Nintendo published a game this fucked up and this like raw, like on an emotional level. Kudos. It is a massive flex to see Nintendo fund something like this to the extent in which they did, and you'll see that if you like play it, knowing that the rest of the industry is tripping over their own dicks and like being so like anti-art, and Nintendo's just like, hey, we gave the Steins Gate guys a bunch of fucking money to make a cool retro inspired point and click adventure game. We just did this.
Is Steins Gate well written?
I have a feeling if you were to play it, you would say no.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot, but I'm sure you would have plenty to pick apart. But that's besides the point. The company that made it, Mages, are well. They're like they're well known in the VN like spheres. They're like because you know Steins Gate blew up and it got a pretty big following. Like I totally, because like when Nintendo wanted to make remakes of Famicom Detective Club 1 and 2, they went to the like outside of like Type Moon, like the big VN studio, and you know, the worst you could say about those games is that they're a bit too like faithful of remakes to like old 80s ass games. Famicom MEO feels like if they got to make one for SNES and got to advance on that formula. I know they did make like a Satellaview game. If any of the nerds listening to this are gonna be like, actually, I know. But like this feels like the lost extra game that we never got, but like made today. This game feels so 90s in all the best possible ways.
Oh, I love that. That sounds awesome.
I think I'm not going to guarantee anything to you because you're a wild card. And I don't recommend you things out of fear that you're going to turn around and be like mid. But you know, I think this is a perfect video game. I'm so glad I got to say that. I don't get to say that much anymore, because typically it'd be like, this is a game that I really love, and there's a couple things that I don't really, that are a bit or iffy or maybe problematic, and I think this is just like a really brilliantly told tragic story that comes from a spot of like what feels like really raw vulnerability that touches on really serious like subject matter, but never in like an exploitative way. It's I'm talking around so much to really like not delve into like some of the shit that goes on in this game. There are
piqued my interest.
There are scenes in this game that are so fucked up and like kind of scarred me for like days, just thinking back on like the vivid imagery, that I'm just like, how did Nintendo fund this? This is Nintendo. And they put out a game with shit more fucked up than like Neil Druckmann could even try to like come up with in his darkest, most evil thoughts where he dreams about killing innocent people. Like this game, like the fucking vivid imagery this game like uses in certain spots while still like for the most part having a really like fun and endearing tone. Because like I forget where I heard this, but it's like I think it's one of the best rules for like making tense or horror themed stories. Like if you can make them laugh, you can do whatever you want with them. Like if you can take your audience and make them feel comfort, you can use that comfort and shatter it whenever you want, and it'll always keep your audience on their toes. And I think MEO nails this. I doubt you would love it as much as I did, Cause. But
you don't know. I could absolutely adore it.
No, I mean, I think you could appreciate it. There's definitely you're playing as a detective, so there's like the little things like you're working with the police, things like that. But it's like it is a very fun and engaging mystery story that went in directions I honestly did not expect out of it, while never going so far to kind of make it stop feeling grounded and real. Like that's the thing. This game will take you places, but you will always go, I get I get how this happened. And it's really sad, but it's believable that it did. And I can't talk about it anymore. Like there's shit that is so NDA'd about this game, because I reviewed it for Nintendo Insider. I looked at the NDA, and the NDA mentioned things that are like, even like the NDA mentions, I went and go like, oh, I see why they didn't want people knowing about this. They spent so much fucking money on this game. Like to just talk about the presentation of MEO. Have either of you guys ever seen what the Famicom Detective Club remakes look like?
No.
Live 2D to such an extent where it basically looks like a playable anime.
Ooh, okay.
And they take that so far at MEO. There are scenes that look like just like they would be the most nothing scenes ever. And they take the attention to detail to show you that from so many different camera perspectives when they didn't have to do that, which obviously means because of this all hand drawn, you're getting these like character portraits drawn from so many different perspectives. There's so much unique art for this game. I think if nothing else, Cause, you would play this game and go like, oh my God, they put the budget. They put so much goddamn fucking time and effort into this game. And the fact that they kept this a secret until like the month before it came out is insane to me. I realize I didn't even say what the game was about. Like the premise isn't anything like wild. It's literally just like, years before the events of the game, there was a series of serial killings where young girls would show up strangled to death with paper bags over their heads with like a smiling face written over it.
Okay.
And it was an unsolved murder case for so long. Suddenly, like, and like the murders just stopped randomly. But after 18 years, they pop back up. And this middle school boy is found like dead out in like some like gas pumping station or something, like way out into like the country with a bag over his head. And you work for a detective agency, and the cops, because they're already familiar with you from your work in the previous games, they're like, hey, Utsugi Detective Agency, we want you to like figure the case out. Like we want you on to help out. And it is like you're basically just solving the case yourself because the cops aren't too useful. But like, and that's the game. You are like on the ground level, roaming the streets at points, just trying to get leads. There's a point where your boss calls you and it's like, hey, I want you to go look into the old murders from 18 years ago. And you go to the library to read newspaper clippings. And that's the whole chapter. And I'm like, maybe this makes me a sicko who loves my time being wasted, but I'm fucking thriving. I'm at my fucking, like, this is me in my element right now. The whole game is uses a like archaic, quote unquote, archaic like command interface where like you have a limited amount of actions and how to engage. And you are often like you might be asking like the same questions. You might have to use like the look command and then look at someone's face to advance further into the dialogue. Like there's plenty of stuff in this game I think a lot of people will think like obtuse or like tedious that I just absolutely love, because once this game kind of like hooks its claws into you, you go, okay, I'm learning a new language, and that I have to use that language to know how to say the right things to interact with the game in the way it wants me to. It's like you are a little guy in the control room of this character's brain, and you need to point him in the right directions to solve the mystery and make progress this way.
Okay.
There's a demo. It's got the first 3 chapters on it. I recommend to everyone at least play the demo if you like mystery games. If you dig what the demo is doing, buy the game.
So what you're describing about like having to like look at someone's face to get more dialogue out of them or whatever, that just reminds me of Portopia.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that like there's a through line there where its inspirations are very clear, and like it's following through with the classic sort of like mystery games of the past.
And it makes sense because I think the Famicom for some reason I can't say Detective or whatever, Detective Club series kind of came a little bit after that, and kind of like, because when Portopia came out, it kind of like created a genre pretty much, and this was one of the games that came out as a result of that. And it's so amazing that we are still like we're still like getting games today that are building off of this. And not just this, like we're getting revivals of other like old games like this. I don't remember the exact title, but like another old Yuji Horii game, the Hokkaido Serial Murder Case, that's getting a remake like next week.
Yeah, absolutely
Going to be buying that like day one. I'm so excited for that. I'm going to shout out a indie game that I've been really interested in, and has been also has a lot of really good write-ups on their like official Twitter about Emio, because they were so excited for it. It is called again, I can't say Detective Instincts. Oh geez, I'm so bad at remembering the full title, and it's like blocked off. GC, cut this part out.
Cut what part out?
Are you cutting it out?
Cut what part out?
Detective Instinct Farewell My Beloved, which has a demo on Steam and is also trying to do that similar like command style interface where you like, you go around, you solve your little mysteries. I'm shouting them out because they said my review was nice. They're really cool. Go download that demo.
Nice.
and that game comes out this year. It feels like a really good time for adventure games. And I'm really happy that Nintendo is in a spot where they can just fund this. Like this shows like a level of like confidence in your spot in the industry when you can just fund like a basically art game like this and just be like, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, we could do that. We could make the most expensive adventure game VN of all time. Sure, whatever. Fine. Just do it. I don't care. But yeah, I think it's brilliant. And without getting too much into it, I think there's some like really good recontextualization that happens near the end of this game that a lot of people are not going to see coming. And like what they do with the end of this game made this bump up from like an 8, maybe like 9 to like a rock solid 10 out of 10. Like this is one of my favorite games I've ever played. I don't get to say that often. I really like saying that.
Hell yeah.
I get so disappointed often in video games. I don't get to say that much anymore. I'm really happy I got to play a game that was good.
It's okay. It's okay, Cullen. Don't cry.
We were just talking about fucking the mid prints, and I was like in a depressive episode when that game was just whatever.
There's gotta be
my hype does not get rewarded ever.
Would it be a mid shake? There's a shit burger, a mid shake.
Oh.
And like and like
some lame fries.
some lame fries.
Abyss fries. How about that?
No, lame fries is good. Lame fries is really
right.
good. And then there's like a best dog or a best. What would you call if you could eat Emio? What kind of food would it be?
You leave the restaurant and then you go to this place called Peak Shawarma, and you get a nice shawarma.
Peak shawarma.
Peak shawarma.
You really picked one of the hardest things for me to say. Peak shawarma.
Yeah, fucking now you see my struggle with detective.
Yeah, detective.
Detective. But no, I totally say like acknowledge that I'm probably way overhyping this for most people listening, but I think that if you have any interest in mystery games, this is something that is worth playing. At the very least, just experiencing it for yourself. And the great thing is, it's like maybe 12 hours long. It's not a long game. It doesn't last like, it's not like a 50-hour endeavor to get to like the end and you have to trudge through a bunch of stuff. It's very lean. It's all killer, no filler. But also, it'll totally, like, for a bit, have your main character stranded at a bus station with a dead cell phone, a dead 90s cell phone, by the way, and just be like, help someone, for like 5 minutes as you like hit all the options, and he like has a different like a reaction to everything of just trying to summon a cab to pick him up from the fucking like middle of nowhere to get back home. The game knows when to be funny. It is, and it's really funny when it is. But yeah, that's my Emio spiel. That's my spielio, daddy-o.
I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm going to give this game a shot, I think.
Okay, but if you don't like it, you're not allowed to say anything about it.
Okay. I mean, I think I'll like it. I do like horror and I do like suspense, so...
You know, but you're not allowed to be like, like you're not allowed to like...
Okay.
You gotta take that to the grave with you.
Okay, I'll take it to the grave with me if I don't enjoy it. I'll just be like, anyways, guys, I
like,
played Schmorbo Blorbo's Grand Adventure.
Truthfully, cause like I am like worried like what you think. Not because I think the game has any like problematic like content. Like again, it touches on some like really dark subject matter, and how you interpret that might like depend on person to person. But like, unfortunately, this is one of those pieces of media that I've maybe put a bit too much of myself into. So it's like, if you don't like it, I'm not actually going to be upset. But I don't want to recommend you something that like I would love and you just wouldn't care for. I don't want to waste your time.
I'm a wild card, Cullen. I'm a wild card. I could like, I do want more like horror games to play, and I like mysteries and stuff, because like I feel like a lot of games that I've been playing otherwise just are not very engaging. Like I finished replaying Signalis and I was like, I need something else that will actually stimulate my brain.
I will say, I don't think it's like consistently like horror, but there are spots where like the horror dials turn up to 11 for just a moment and you go like, what was that? And they like, but when you weren't looking, turn it back down. It's like, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, I like that. That's fun.
What do you mean? And then
are
like
there multiple endings?
No, there's one.
Okay.
And I can't say too much, but if you get to the credits and you're just like, that was whatever, there's a little bit extra. There's a little bit extra after the credits. I'll tell everyone this. If you go, I don't really need to bother with the epilogue, do the epilogue.
Okay.
Mandatory. I'm seeing people go like, oh, there's some epilogue, but like it was whatever. I didn't really care for it. It's like, what? And it's like, no. Doesn't take that long. Do the epilogue. The epilogue is what made me give it a 10. This is the only other game I can think of being as good as this, in my opinion, like new game, not like a remake or anything, is Metaphor. But like this kind of like latched onto my soul. So, you know, good luck, Metaphor. But you know, Atlas, if you want to send me an early copy of Metaphor, you can prove me wrong. You do that. I don't really care.
Give me a video game.
Give me the video game, Atlas, please. I'm a good boy. I've been a good boy. Come on.
I'd clap for you. Give me.
I do. If you got one soldier, it's me. If you do a fucky wucky, I'll shake my head disappointingly, but you know.
Paying full price for a re-release of a Persona game, but shaking my head to indicate that I'm disappointed.
You don't even want to know how many copies of Persona 5 I bought, dude.
I don't want to know how many copies of Persona 5 you bought. I don't want to know how close you were to buying the limited run games version of the Persona 3 Reload thing.
1, 2.
Oh God.
3. I got to start over now.
And they're all at
1,
full price too.
2.
You know that.
No, wait. Okay. 1, 2, 3 for just the PS4 versions, like the original PlayStation versions. And then after that, 5. I'm trying to think if like that remaster came to any other system. I didn't buy it on PS5.
You know what?
But
it doesn't matter.
technically,
There's too many already.
Technically, with
more
Game
than
Pass,
two
I
is
own
too
6
many.
copies. Well, I bought it on PS3 and PS4 on a launch, and then I got the PS4 version of Royal, and then I got the Switch version of Royal, and then I got the Steam version of Royal, and then I got Game Pass. So I'd say that's 6. Oh God, no wait, hold on. I imported a couple copies. Hold on.
Oh my God, Cullen single-handedly funding Persona 6 whenever the fuck that comes out.
Oh God, yeah, I totally imported Royal. Oh fuck. Yeah, 6 or 7. That's my fault. I'm sorry, everyone. If they keep making Persona 5 games, it's because of me.
I want them to keep making Persona 5 games. I'm one of those people that likes the Persona 5 cast enough that they don't actually have to get into any hijinks. They could just hang out as friends, and I'd be like, yeah, that's fun.
You should finish Strikers.
I should. I gotta restart Strikers again, and then I gotta play through it. I really like that game, but I never finished it.
That's like the writing of the Phantom Thieves at its like their absolute best.
Yeah,
it's one group. I'm again, they have not even uttered like a word of Persona 6. And honestly, it's smart. Don't announce shit early anymore, Atlas. This is working for you. But I'm sure it's like next year because they haven't announced anything after Metaphor. So
it'll be after Metaphor's press run is done.
I imagine like at the Game Awards, we'll probably see Persona 6 or something, or like maybe TGS.
When are the Game Awards?
Winter.
Early December. Early December.
Great. So around my birthday.
Yeah, you're getting old.
Gross. I share a birthday with Jeff Keighley. That sucks.
A little bit.
Share a birthday with his show. That's okay.
Yeah, I relinquished the talking stick again. MEO fucked me up and I lost sleep.
That's great. Hey gang, audience, come here. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I'm shifting up. Hold on.
So every episode we assign each other homework in a Fire Emblem weapon triangle fashion.
Yes.
Swords beat lance, lance beat axe. Sorry, swords beat axe, axe beat lance, lance beat sword. We didn't do our homework from last episode or the episode before that. Sorry, because we didn't count last episode as homework. We've all been very, very busy. So we've all been assigned detention. Unfortunately, I got to break the news to my co-hosts here.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about our homework, I want you all to share. I want you both to tell me what you'd get detention for.
Like in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, I got detention for getting into a fight.
Nice.
Kissing my girlfriend at the library.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so I'm like
in front of the principal.
That's so cute.
What?
I don't even remember it being that big of a deal. It wasn't even like an actual deal. Like the principal totally fucking lied. He was like, he was making out with her. He was shoving tongue in there. And what's crazy is that like we ended up trying to go to the detention, and they totally forgot or like thought it was stupid anyway, and like no one showed up, so we just went home.
Excellent. Oh my God, that was so fucking funny. I'm so glad I asked that question. I only ever got detention for being late to school. That's it. That's all I ever got detention for. Your reasons for getting detention are way cooler though.
Cool. What? Who? Cullen? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick
and
of
you too.
Me? Oh no. See,
yeah.
I almost I got into a physical altercation with someone because they were being homophobic.
Did you win?
So, yeah.
You won?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Homophobia has been defeated.
So, you know.
Good. You beat
Yeah.
the shit out of somebody for being homophobic? Hell yeah.
It was like I had just transferred to a new school too. So
gotta show people who's boss. New management in town.
Yeah, me.
Did you do like any sick heat moves on him?
I did grab a chair.
That's sick.
That counts.
Did you hit the triangle button?
No, I didn't, but
Oh, unfortunate.
yeah. By the time I grabbed the chair, somebody had intervened, so.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that we just keep our homeworks from before and we just try to get them done.
Oh, I was going to say, I think it'd be better if we have new homework because I didn't want to play the Hello Kitty game.
You're going to play the Hello Kitty game whether or not you want to.
Don't want to do it, though.
Play the Hello Kitty game.
Fine, whatever.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, dear viewer, and you haven't watched, listened to the episode 2 episodes ago, go ahead and listen to that episode. After this one's over.
He's just saying that because he doesn't know what the homework was.
I remember what my homework was. I had to play Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
No, wrong Castlevania game.
Damn
Curse
it.
of Darkness.
I'm
Curse of
playing Dawn of
Darkness. Damn
Sorrow,
it.
not you. By the way, Kaz, have you played that like Dominus collection?
No, because I don't have the money to buy it.
It's so fucking good. Those DS Castlevania games are so fucking good.
Yeah, I want them. I'm gonna probably get them like next month, and then I'll play them because I'm a big Castlevania fan.
More Dawn of Sorrow talk to come when I finish it.
Yes.
GC deserves 5 laps around the gymnasium for getting his Castlevanias wrong.
I'm not running those laps.
They're doing them. Here, you get detention. Double detention.
That's fine. I've been suspended before for
Triple detention.
worse. I don't care.
House arrest.
Yeah,
What was
whatever.
Kazuma's homework?
I don't know. You assigned it to me, you freak.
Oh, yeah. I picked a random game on some ROM site. Play those.
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna pick a random game then because I don't remember what it was.
No. It's probably in our chat. Chat, if you remember what I assigned Kazuma, and I totally do, you know, this is just to see if you guys remember, post about it in the YouTube comments.
So do we want to talk about any news or do we want to just move on to the closing statements?
Fucking what? Did anything even happen? Besides
Concord
like more
came and
layoffs?
went.
Oh God, yeah, you're right. Fucking craziest 2 stories, at least in my opinion. Concord died in a week. And the fucking Vision of Mana studio shut down like the day the game came out.
That one's disgusting.
It's fucking gross because I fucking love Visions of Mana. I thought that was like a sublime like 8 out of 10 experience that I was like, if you guys tweak a couple things and like post release like patches, this could easily be like a 9. You've got something here. It's so good. And then I found out that they've like the entire studio shut down besides like a couple people left around to like release the remainder of their games. And I just like, it's gross.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Now I'm mad. I'm mad and I'm steaming and I'm mad. Industry sucks, but we're awesome.
Yeah, and we're all burnt out like crazy.
I'm so mad. Visions of...
This is why we always open up with the industry sucks. Because like in every podcast episode we talked about the news that happened in the industry that week, we'd be like, well, more layoffs happened and this studio got shut down and also this is falling apart and there's a new leak in the roof and the termites are eating the front door, but otherwise we're doing fine. Like there's so like I'm gonna endeavor for next episode to find some good news to talk about related to the gaming. And you know what? Why don't we make that the homework?
You're just trying to get out of playing Castlevania.
No, that's not true. I'm actually very interested in Curse of Darkness. But why don't we make that the homework for this episode? And we just like it's like extra credit, a little extra credit thing. Let's look for like a good feel good story related to video games and the industry that we can share next week, and just create a little bit of light in a very stormy weather that we're having right now.
Okay, I'll try to find something good.
Yeah, it's not required, but like if you come across something, just be like, you know what? Let's talk about that next week.
Next week I show up and I'm like, guys, you would not believe some of the most dog shit things I've heard.
Me shakily smokes from my cigarette. It's no good news. It's nothing. It's all bad.
It's all awful. All right. Well, Cullen, where can they find us?
Burnout Culture Podcast at gmail.com. Burnout Cult on Twitter. Burnout Culture on YouTube. Burnout Culture community server on GC. Insert the thing again. You better do it. Letter by letter. Letter by letter. Letter by letter. Yep. And you better include this part. You better include this part as you say it, letter by letter, overlaid on top of each other.
Those expire, right?
And you
no, we have a forever one.
Yeah, forever link.
I actually pinned it in our super secret mod chat where we just post pictures of my cat.
Oh, we're really in it now, Estinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can't find us anywhere else.
Yeah. And if you guys want to send us questions that we will begin answering probably next episode, send it to burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com.
Or ask us in the Discord and we'll save it for a podcast episode. We should actually have a question channel for that.
Oh, we should. Yes. I'll make it.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
All right.
See you later, everybody.
Hey, GC.
Yeah. Oh, wait, huh?
I have homework for you. Watch Brained Power.
You mean brain powered?
Yeah. What did I say?
Brained power?
Watch Brained Power.
Okay, are we
you just
signing
cut the
off?
episode on that. Yeah, you just cut the episode after that.
No, seriously, are you two going to sign off?
Yeah, but you cut the episode at that.
Yeah. I'm not signing off. I've actually stopped recording.
Yeah, cut the episode right after that.